Oh man. Okay, the Ziggy D News Show, action RPG and gaming news with Ziggy D. Some days we have lots of news and other days, ooh, bumping the mic, we have not so much news. But today we have a few interesting little pieces of news. Two interesting pieces of news. First is that in Diablo 3, in the PTR and in Reaper of Souls beta, it's been discovered that it's possible to power level characters from 1 to 60 and even 1 to 70 in the Diablo 3 beta in about 4 minutes. So there's a video here, which I'm happy to link to you guys in the chat, showing this in action. And pretty much what they do is they create a Torment 6 game at level 60, so someone else creates it. You just simply invite the level 1 character in, start a new game, and kill some zombies, and every zombie kill gets the character like 10 levels or something like that. So like first zombie kill, instant 10 levels. So yeah. But here's my question to you guys. Do you actually think this is a bad thing? Like, if someone wants to level and have the leveling experience, they are perfectly able to do so. They just don't invite these outside people in to do this. They just don't use these sort of exploity methods to level. But a lot of the game at Diablo 3 is at endgame. The leveling experience is pretty fun now with bounties, but again, something like this makes it an option. Do you think something like power leveling like this, like just pretty much instantly getting to level 60 so you can jump into endgame content, of course you still need to gear yourself and things like that, because Diablo 3 is going to be self-found essentially, but being able to power level yourself like this and just skip the 1 to 60 or the 1 to 70 grind, do you think that's actually a bad thing? Now remember, your chat's on the screen there, so let me know whether you think that's something that should be removed. Personally, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a big deal. Like, it's like a massive exploit, massive exploit that you can get to 60 in like a short amount of time. But who are we kidding? Diablo 3 is not really competitive, and even if it was competitive, it's not about the getting to 1 to 60 or 1 to 70. And if like new ladders come into the game, you're not going to be able to use this method anyway, because everyone will be the same level when it begins. So I don't actually see this having any like big negative impacts. But I'm keen to like hear what you guys think. So Legendary Senon says, "Oh, Tychus, that's such barking. Wow, Ty, come on." Legendary Senon said, "It is bad because it cheapens the game as a whole. Power leveling like that only results in people leaving the game just as fast." So that's a pretty good point. I do like that point. The idea of it sort of removing some of the idea of the challenge of the game, and especially like in hardcore, I could see this removing a big challenge. Like leveling in hardcore is a big part of the challenge for sure. So I can definitely agree with that, Legendary Senon. It could cheapen the game by quite a bit. Since the journey really isn't that important in Blizzard's eyes, and you really don't get anything worthwhile, it's not a huge deal. That said, it should have gotten rid of "even the journey is devoid of too much purpose" from Tanakea. I think with the it's kind of funny with the story mode. Like that's kind of fun for a playthrough. And like it has its own story and its own sort of journeys tied into it. But with the new adventure mode and leveling in adventure mode, it's actually kind of you create your own stories while leveling in adventure mode. And from playing like hardcore on the Wizard, on the Witch Doctor, and now on the Crusader on live stream, I am sort of feeling that there is actually like this creation of your own journeys and your own stories and stuff like that. So removing that is definitely a shame. And leveling in adventure mode is something I hope more people experience. So I guess you guys might have swayed my opinion. Maybe something like this should be removed from the game. But yeah, if it's not a problem, of course, just put something in the game where maybe once you already have a max level character, like Metasyntax, who was it? Brian says, just put something official in the game. Maybe once you already have a max level character, you can instantly jump your characters to 60 or 70. Like they put something like that in WoW recently, I believe, that you can jump 10 levels when the expansion pack comes out. So anyway, that's pretty interesting. It's I don't know, this will probably be fixed, I think, based on previous history with Diablo 3. I think this probably will be fixed. Shouldn't take too much to fix it. If nothing else, the guaranteed legendary from doing characters like this, because you can get to like Skeleton King or something like that, kill Skeleton King and you get this like one guaranteed legendary, then I think that will be removed at the very least, because I don't want people to just level characters just to get a free legendary. But otherwise, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, next piece of news, moving over to some PoE. We have Sacrifice of the Vile, teaser screenshot number 4. So Chris did say that these are the two new leagues, Ambush and Invasion, are not Cutthroat leagues, which I thought would be the case. I didn't think they'd throw Cutthroat into the 4-month leagues. too much could go wrong, and like if after like a week or two, Cutthroat just isn't fun for players, the rest of the 4-month league is screwed. So I think there will be Cutthroat events, and maybe even some long-term Cutthroat events, but these two leagues are separate from Cutthroat, despite the name Ambush and Invasion kind of sounding Cutthroat-ish. So, next up we have this endgame map here, which is corrupted, and as you'll notice, if I can count correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 affixes on that map. So normally maps can roll 6 total affixes, but this one has 8. So the corrupted adds an extra affix. Now this makes sense given an earlier screenshot where one of the corrupted zones had 2 affixes on it, a prefix and a suffix. So having a corrupted map then obviously gives it a prefix and a suffix. So that means that if the new Val Orb does corrupt an item when you use it on it, then maybe that's like a way of making your endgame map like progress either better or more difficult depending on what you want to do. So if you want to make a map more difficult, you think you can run it no matter what mobs roll, then you can get extra item quantity, and the extra item quantity from the 2 new affixes does add on top. So here we have an 83 item quantity, unqualitied map level 69, and this is something I would probably run. You know, it's got unique boss, power charges, fire, fizz resist monsters, elemental weakness, more rare monsters, chilled ground monster variety. I'd run a map like that on most of my characters. I don't really see that to be too difficult a map, but there's definitely the potential where 8 affix, like, you know, minus max, elemental reflect, fizz reflect, monsters deal extra damage as X, monsters deal extra damage as Y, and then monsters deal extra damage, and boss extra damage, dual boss, things like that. There's so many affixes that could spawn on 8 affix map. That's like a huge chunk of the affix pool, so it could get very difficult, very difficult. So, then the other piece of news, welcome back Amy, is this screenshot here. It doesn't actually have much going on, but we can click on it here. The only thing I see out of the ordinary, just looking over it, first we do have a corrupted Ice Nova there, and it has the charge thing as well. So we're seeing another charge-based skill. However, no clues as to what this actually does, and this isn't really a surprise to me. I believe all gems will be able to be corrupted, at least all skill gems. So I'm not really surprised by that at all. But what we see here is this glowing crate, or glowing chest. Actually, it looks like a safe. Yeah, it's like a safe that's fallen off a boat or something like that, like the shipmaster's safe, and it's supposed to have all the secret stuff in it. But based on the names of these leagues, Invasion and Ambush, I'm thinking this is potentially an Ambush League one, so which was the softcore, I believe. So what I think happens is, I kind of predicted this earlier, that you'd open a chest and a bunch of stuff would pop out. And that's what I think is going to happen here. There's going to be a reward, some reward for this. The Softcore League affixes have had a history of getting some form of reward after some form of challenge. So I think you open this, maybe there's like a wave of monsters, or you're ambushed by a bunch of different monsters, kind of corrupted chess style from Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. These two games often seem to come up with similar ideas around similar times, and it's not that unusual given the niche genre. But I think we'll see some monsters pop out, and then you get some form of loot. So I think that, yeah, you have to defend the chest or something like that. I think that'll be pretty cool, I think. But something in the next post here gives us a little bit more info. So this is the Eternal and Diamond supporter newsletter number 53. Sorry your eyes for the brightness. But we have here, unlike any content patch, a large portion of these monsters in the new expansion, specifically for ones of the upcoming 4-month leagues, will be able to spawn almost anywhere and at almost any level, which makes playing through areas you've already run a bunch of times a much more dynamic experience. By creating monsters that provide challenge at all levels to play is no simple task. Your standard unique monster shows up once per difficulty, and then maybe again in a map in augmented form. That means we have at least 4 versions of any skill they can use, and carefully balance their damage output across difficulties. So basically he talks about you're going to encounter these different monsters that are not part of the normal game that can spawn anywhere. So sort of like exiles, but these are going to be actual monsters. And then depending on when you encounter them, so at low level or at higher levels, they're going to actually function differently, get extra skills as you get higher level. This is very exciting. This is the first really solid clue about what's going to be in the new leagues. I think this will potentially be in both new leagues, though how they actually spawn might be different across the 2 different leagues. I think ambush, they'll spawn through the chests. Invasion, we don't know yet. It'll have some sort of other thing. So I also think there might be some extra monsters wandering around here and there. But this is pretty cool. So there's going to be these vile or these corrupted monsters wandering around and appearing. Like, I don't think they're going to be mobs that are in the game yet. So I don't think they're going to be like void bearers or anything. I think they're going to be other mobs that we haven't seen yet. So they'll be spawning randomly around in different zones as you're leveling and stuff like that. And then in addition, through the new game mechanics coming in the 2 new 4-month leagues. So that's pretty exciting. That's definitely very exciting. And that's like, this is the first really solid piece of info, I think. And it was kind of just tucked away in a Diamond Support newsletter. So thank you, Ignisol, for posting this. Because otherwise I wouldn't have access to it, not being a direct Diamond supporter myself. But pretty keen on that, and I'm pretty keen to see who the monsters are. And I'm sure like myself, and like you guys, we're probably all pretty hyped. We're all pretty hyped for this expansion pack. It's gonna be rad. It's gonna be rad. So anyway, that's it for the news. Let me write down the time here. 18:14. All right.